Good morning. In this tutorial, we'll be discussing APA formatting and how to get your paper set up properly. We're going to begin by checking the font, margins, and spacing of your paper. APA requires that you use Times New Roman, 12-point font, and 1-inch margins. So this is obviously not in Times New Roman, so we're going to go ahead and highlight it. And then we're going to choose on the Home tab, under Font, Times New Roman, 12-point. Now, we also need 1-inch margins, and this paper is set up currently with 1-inch margins, but if it isn't, or it wasn't, or if you aren't sure, you can go to the Page Layout tab, go to Margins, and just look for this normal setting. This will get you what you need for APA formatting. We also need double spacing. On the Home tab, under Paragraph, choose Double. So that includes your cover page, all of your text, and your references page. Everything should be double spaced. However, now that we've done that, we've created some weird spacing issues, so let's get rid of all of this extra. Let's make sure that our references page is on the separate line or separate page. And then we're going to go ahead and add in paragraph indents because this was written in block format, but APA requires that you use paragraph indentations. Now that that's taken care of, we're going to take a look at your cover page. A cover page should include several elements. It should always have the title of your paper, your name, the date of submission, and then you need to include any additional information that your instructor requires. Some instructors prefer that you have their name, the course name, or even the college name on the cover of your report. Depending on what information you have to include here, you'll want to make sure that your page is centered, both horizontally and vertically. So if you have a lot of information or if you have a little information, you'll want to do the centering after you've put everything that you need on the page. So this is not vertically centered, so we're just going to use the Enter key to bump it down a little bit until it looks like it's in the middle of the page. Having done that, we've added some extra spacing here that we don't need, so we'll take that out. But now the cover page looks fine, the rest of the paper looks fine. We're going to focus on doing a running head. APA requires that you have a running head on each page of your paper. So in order to do that, we're just going to click Insert, and instead of header, we're going to choose page number. That's actually going to work better. So page number, top of page, and then we're going to choose the third option, plain number 3. Now you'll see now that the number 1, which is the page number, is highlighted in gray. That means that anything we type right now is going to overwrite that number, and we don't want that. So we're going to hit the left arrow key on the keyboard to take that highlighting off. Now we can go ahead and type the title of our paper in all caps. Once we have the title written out, we're going to use the Tab key on the keyboard twice to move it where it belongs. Now you'll notice if you double click anywhere on the main part of the page that we now have the title on the left hand side and the page number on the right, and by scrolling down you can check that that's happened on every page, and it has. So now our running head is almost finished. The only thing is that APA requires your first page to have a slightly different format. So we're going to double click back into this header area, and on the Design tab we're going to choose Different First Page. That is going to eliminate everything that we put in here, but only on the first page. If you scroll down, you'll see that what we've done is still showing up on all of the other pages as it should. So now we're going to repeat all of the steps that we did earlier. Insert, page number, top of page, third option, left arrow key just to be safe, and this time we're going to type the words running head and a colon, and then we're going to type the title of our paper. and then we're going to hit tab twice. Now you'll notice on this one that because of the extra words, our title is too long to fit all on one line. If this happens, you may want to shorten your title. So we're going to take out Issues In, and we're going to leave the running title at Native American Education. If you do this, make sure that you do it on all of your pages. So you'll do it on the first page, and then you can do it on the second page, and the one that you do on the second page should carry through to all of them. So now it looks like we have our running head with our different first page. We have our running head on all of our other pages. Our cover page looks fine. The main content of our paper looks fine. One thing that you may want to do is add in headings for your paper. So I'm just going to use the title as a sample heading. I'm just copying and I'm going to paste this in, take out the space, as a heading for the main part of your paper. You can add in headings anytime that you change subtopics. So this might be current issues in Native education. And then I might add in another one here. Statistics. It's also a good idea to add in a heading when you begin your conclusion. I will notice that you shouldn't use I in a research paper. You also want to double check your references page. You want to start that on its own page. So you'll see that by adding in the headings, we kind of bumped our text down. So now our references needs to go all the way down on its own page. We center the word references at the top in the middle. All of our references need to be alphabetized and hanging indent. So for the hanging indent, for the hanging indent, drop down on the paragraph block and choose under indentation, hanging, okay. So what that does is that the first line of each entry is left justified, but any additional lines are kind of indented so that you can easily see where each entry begins. I'm going to deal with the alphabetizing and this formatting of these references in a totally different tutorial, so I'm going to stop at that point, or at this point. And it looks like this is a pretty well formatted APA paper. Remember that if you have any questions, you can always come into the Owens Campus Tutoring and Writing Centers for one-on-one help. We will be happy to see you.